Right, my name's Rory Evans and I'm a part of a group called Mid Wales Paranormal, and I'm the medium or sensitive, but really I don't know just how these things will happen. I started about 10 years ago, called Newtown Paranormal, and the reason why I do this is because it cost me so much money to go on investigations, like £60 ago. I thought, well, I got the ability. I thought I'll ask somebody in my small hall if I could go and have a look around. Went to look around, my ability started kicking in. And I didn't realise I was a sensitive until then. I knew there was something about me, but until then I didn't realise, you know. So that's where we started from, and then we changed over, and now we're Mid Wales Paranormal. And because we called our names that because we've gone wider afield, and hopefully we're going wider again. We're going into Shropshire next time, and you know, so it'd be bigger and bigger. But I do it, I don't charge, because I don't believe my spirit guides, they're not being paid, are they? So why should I be paid? And it's, I look at it like that. Everybody has a spirit guide, but everybody's not open to that. You've got to be open, like people these days, you've got television, you've got radio, everybody's distracted with everything all the time, aren't they? So you don't, you know, no one's, if everybody opened up their minds a little bit, and you know, not a lot, and a lot of people are selfish as well, and if they come away from that and become more in tune with stuff, more people will see spirits and stuff. Well, yeah, I was born in Garthowyn, and Garthowyn found out it's on a ley line, and Garthowyn was a prisoner of war camp for the Germans and Italians, prisoners of war. And when I was a little boy, me and my sister used to share the same bedrooms with little children, and we used to hear voices under the bed, and we thought the house was haunted, but really it was me being a spirit, you know, a medium, picking these up. And I used to hear voices a lot. And when I was in Messandy High School, Messandy School, the headmaster, Mr. Jenkins, he saw a ghost on the Red Bridge at Lanny, and he was coming over Lanny Bridge, coming back to Newtown, and he thought he hit a woman on the bridge, and she went straight through the car, and he looked back in the windscreen, and he could see her in his windscreen, so he came to a halt, went to the pub, and you know, told them that, and they said, no, you just seen the Red Bridge ghost. And he told me that story in school, so ever since I've been interested in the paranormal, into ghosts and anything like to do with that, really. So that's how I started. And I was I think the reason why I've got the ability, I'm dyslexic and I find it very hard to read and write, but I was in an incubator when I was a little boy. I was only 3.5 pounds in weight, and I think I passed over and brought something back with me, and that's why I think I've got this ability to do it's a gift, isn't it, you know, and it's just given to me by God. I think God myself, because I do think God is the highest, you know, the plane. And other spirit mediums don't think that. I don't know what they believe, but I believe there is one God, but there is lots of spirits, you know. Psychic ability to me is that when I go into a property, as soon as I go into a property, I can tell you exactly what's in the room. It's like, you see like mediums. I don't know. Mediums, when you see them on telly and stuff, they say you got so and so with you, and you got so and so with you, and daddy da. And I don't see it like that. You have to be. Yeah, you know, I work in a shop, don't I? And I'll have people walking past me, and I'll have hundreds of people walking past me all day, and all of a sudden I'll just have to go over to somebody and say, do you know that so and so's with you, and like your mother? And I'll say, that's right. And so you can't, a medium isn't somebody you can just go like that. I don't believe that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's like a magnet. You're being drawn to that person, you know. And when my psychic abilities is as well is that when I do my ghost hunts in a lot of these places, I'll go into a house, and sometimes they don't think the room's haunted, And I walked into one house one evening. I said, you know, there's a man in your kitchen. And they go, is? I said, yes, it is. And I said, he's a carpenter. And they go, do you know that? I said, because he's showing me. And I mean, I can't see it here. It's in here, you know? And I can see it all in my head. But it's a sense, you know? It's telling me, my spirit guides are telling me what's he holding. And do you know what I mean? But I can't hear them, it's a sense. And they showed me a plane, a big wooden plane, an old plane. And they said, then they showed me a whale. And, you know, like Jonah and the whale. Well, his name was Jonah. I came up with Jonah, and he's a carpenter. And this man who I went to see, he said my grandfather was a carpenter, and his name was Jonah. And he said, I've just bought a plane, an old Victorian plane. It's in the shed. I said, well, your granddad's been down to that shed and had a look at that plane to say that's great, because his grandson, is doing the same job as because he's a carpenter. And so, and I can also feel like electricity, you know. My spirit guides will tell me if I'm right. I'll have all shivers. I'll go all the time, I'll have shivers, you know. And if they're with me, I say to them, do you want me to tell you my spirit guide's name? So I know her name, it's Key. And she's a Japanese woman, she's beautiful looking. And she's got long, black, glossy hair. And I say, Key, are you with me? And I asked her today, will you stay with me, Key, when I'm doing this today? To give me a bit of encouragement, you know? And so Key's with me anyway, and she'll always be with me. When I'm doing my ghost hunting, I've been to places that I'll have children or anybody, and I'll say, do you want me to bring them over to you? Because sometimes it's so strange, but the spirits will come towards me, and I can make them, I mean, not me, but my spirit guides, I can make them, you can feel them. And I've done that 3 or 4 times, and it's only just started happening now. Like, they'll hold, you can feel them holding your hand, but it's like a wind going around your hand like that, like a whirlwind. And I'll take them over to the person, and they'll go, oh no, and they can feel it, you know. And what it is it's just showing them that they like them. You know, if they didn't like them, they wouldn't go over to them, would they? You know, the spirit world is so fast that, because I believe there's a heaven, but not as a heaven as humans believe in. A heaven, they're here, but they're in a different plane. Do you know what I mean? And you have different, like, you know, electric radio waves, like medium wave, high wave, low wave. I think the really evil spirits stay on the low wave, and they can never ever come up to our level, because like I swear and you know I drink and have a party and all that, so I'll be on a different level, they'll be on a lower level. I'm a bit naughty, but alright, you know what I mean? And then you have the saints and higher, you know, like the higher people, priests and all that, and they'll be on a higher level again. But you, one day, if you wanted to, you could go up to their level as well, but you've got to prove yourself in the spirit world. So sometimes that's why I got Key with me, because she's come back to prove herself, to help people out and help spirits out. And then Key will go up to the higher plane, and that's, they go up and up and up. And so I think the evil spirits can never come up, only if you ask. And I think a lot of them, when they provoke and when they do Ouija boards, you're provoking evil. You know, your body's made of, we're made of like stars and water. We're made of the earth, aren't we? And the heavens, aren't we?
Cosmic dust.
Yeah, and I think we're made of that. And when we die, we go back to the earth and we all start again. And I think with an orb is it's a nucleus, but it's electricity. And you know, when a spirit, now and again, you'll feel like all your hairs go up on your arms, on the back of your neck. Well, sometimes that could be a spirit touching you, but they're not touching you, they're touching your electric field, because they're electric themselves, you know what I mean? And that's what that is. And that's when people, you know, I say, oh, this so-and-so's just touched me, but they haven't touched me physically, they've just touched my aura around my body, because that's my electric field, you know? And everybody has auras, and everybody has a spirit guide, but everybody's not open to that. You've got to be open, like people these days, you've got television, you've got radio, everybody's distracted with everything all the time. I've done Plastig about 6 or 7 times, most haunted house in Wales. And the first time I went there, I went into this bedroom, and all the people in there, they're not mediums, but they sort of, you know, and they take you around the house. And anyway, they took us in this one bedroom, and they were saying, oh, it's a lovely spirit, it's a great spirit. And I was looking at her thinking, no, it isn't. It doesn't like you women. It's an evil spirit. He doesn't like you at all. And I told him this, and as we were leaving the room, I took a photograph at the back of my head, and I went, got ya. Went back to town the following day, went into Boots. Like I say, no good with electrical stuff. The girls put my Sims card into the photograph thing, and one of the girls went, what the hell is that in your camp? What the hell photograph? What's that? And I said, let's have a look. Got a man in the back of a mirror in the room where I said. So a few weeks later, went back again, and I didn't tell anybody. Went upstairs into the room, and they said, you know whose bedroom this is, don't you, Rory? I said, yeah, this is John Trevor's bedroom. I knew the name John, but they had to tell me Trevor, innit? And they said, you're right, this is John's bedroom. And the funny thing is, I was telling them this, and they were getting the table ready to do a seance, innit? And whenever we sat down, I was still talking, but there was one chair left, and the chair was right by the mirror where I seen the man. No one else sat in. Why didn't anybody else sit? Why didn't anybody sit in that chair? No one else knew, but why didn't somebody sit in that chair? It was left for me to sit there. So I sat down, and I asked out. They asked out, and they said, if there's anyone there, could you move the glass? Nothing happened. So they said, Rory, you know it's John. Ask out. So I asked out. I said, is John Trevor's in this room? And the glass started going round. And I said, is anyone in this room you don't like? Actually, I said, is anyone in this room you hate? And the glass went from my boy's fingers, went bang, straight to me. As soon as it went to me, something from behind the mirror went, oh, and put its arms around me. I got up, I turned the table over, I went straight through the door, and my mate caught me on the stairs with his camera on. He left a locked off camera on the stairs, and I couldn't move. I was just running in the same space. And went downstairs, went outside for a cup of coffee, and they had to lock me out because it was a big Jacobean house. They locked me out because there were lots of antiques in there. Locked me out of the house, and I was outside, sitting outside, thinking, outside's more haunted than inside. So I was banging on the door to let me back in, you know what I mean? Another little story. You know, I bike to work every day on a push bike. And the other week, one of my friends, I can't tell you the name of the property, but one of my friends said it was very haunted, and they want me to go around. And I said, yeah, it's fine. And anyway, I went past this property on my push bike. Halfway down the road, in my head, I knew exactly what rooms. I haven't even been in the house. I went past the house, and I went, oh. So I Facebooked my friend, and I said, this family have got a man upstairs, but he lives in the attic. He's the child has seen the man in her bedroom, her bedroom. And I said, there's a little boy downstairs. A little boy's called Ben, and the man's called Tom. And he's in the attic, in the cellar, the little boy. And people have been locked in the cellar. And when I Facebooked my friend this, he said, how do you know that? I said, well, my spirit guides told me. And he said, that's right. And I said, well, I haven't even been to the house. I even knew that the Ben and Tom, they had what you call clothing on, sacks over the shoulder, the man did, and I reckon he was a coalman with the old sacks, but they don't belong in that property. That there must have been another house on that property. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. My spirit guy must have gone out and come back and told me that information. They have a different time. That's what I mean. Their world is totally different to ours. Do you know what I mean? It's a different landscape and a different time is nothing to them though. There's no time. Do you understand? I can't. It's hard to. It's just light. Do you know what I mean? But they know what's there. This is my spirit guide telling me this. You know, this is just a body, and our spirit is running our body. Say like I'm a car, like I'm a physical being, aren't I? So my spirit is making me move and making me talk and making me this. But when you die and you go into this light, this force, you don't speak. That's what do you know what I'm trying to say? Because that's what I am. That's what I'm getting through. Because I'm where I am, the spirit guides use my brain, you know? And they just tell me through, is it telepathy, is it, they call it, is it? I think that's what it is. When we go pass over, everybody's got the same language, because they don't speak, they use their... But everybody can do it. Everybody's too busy thinking about material things. You know, they want cars, they want big tellies, they want bigger cars, they want bigger houses, and no one's going back to as it was, you know? Like the Victorians, loads of Victorians seen spirits and stuff because they were more into their churches and into their religion and all that sort of stuff, you know? But these days, everybody's just forgot about all that sort of stuff, you know? And to be, as well as, I know we're British, but being Welsh, we're still a bit paganish, you know? So we still believe in the old ways. And we still believe in, like, witchcraft and... you know what I mean? You like, there's things we do in our house that we wouldn't, you shouldn't really do, but it's like, you know, well, you shouldn't put them shoes on the table, you shouldn't do that. And so a lot of the Welsh stuff is still, that's why Wales is, and did you know that Wales is one of the most haunted countries in the world? Because of what we are, because we're Celts and we're still a bit on that sort of thing, you know what I mean? You know, it took us a long time to get where we are now, to be Christians, you know. I tell you experience I did have. I was going to work one morning on my push bike again, and I was by Penstrawyd, and I was going very well, and it was -15. I was on my bike, and all of a sudden I went down like that, you know, feeling really down, and all of a sudden I smelt roses and cut grass. Now this is in January, January, snow on the ground, ice, and I smelled cut grass, somebody's been cutting cut grass, and roses. And all of a sudden I sat up on my bike and I got to work. And I think my ancestors just give me a bit of oomph to get to work, but they showed it through giving me smells of summer. Do you know what I mean? That's so lovely, isn't it? To say that my family's just come to help me, to get me to work. And I thought I had a really good day. To me, a ghost is a ghost. It's just a human form that it'll walk around the house or outside and stuff. But it doesn't bother no one because it doesn't know you're there, you know. But then a spirit, it interacts with you. You know what I mean? You can ask it questions, and that's why you get a lot of these haunted houses that things are moved around and chucked and things. It's not trying to hit anybody, hurt anybody. It's just trying to communicate, you know what I mean? And that's why when I go into a property sometimes, I'll go into a property sometimes and they'll communicate with me, and I'll tell the owners what it is, who it is, why it's there, and all that. And then when I've gone, the spirit will go, because they've told them what they want to tell them. You know what I mean? Or the house will go, they'll live with them, but the house will go quiet, because the spirit has told them who he is, or who she is, or child, and then, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I've been to loads of houses and they say, no, it's gone quiet since you've been. You know, so isn't it funny? Because it's just used me to tell them, as well as ghosts and spirits, you have them. The reason why a lot of them don't move on as well is because you don't get many modern spirits, you know, with hoodies and stuff like that, do you? You know, you don't hear of them, do you? Because the reason why is, you get the older spirits from a long way back, like 1600s, 1500s, you know, 17s and all that sort of stuff, even into the Victorian days, 18s and stuff like that. Because with churches, they've always said that if you kill somebody or if you commit suicide, you'll never go to heaven. You'll die. You'll go to hell or purgatory, innit? And that's why they don't move. That's why they won't go over. They won't go over because they're scared, do you know what I mean?
So their belief
has kept them on this earth. But it's not their belief, it's the church's over it because they're scared, because they've been told that you'll go to purgatory or you go to hell if you committed a crime or if you committed suicide. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I believe. And I believe ghost spirits can't go over it because of what their religion was. And at the end of the day, my religion is everybody's religion. We're all the same. All religions are the same. A lot of them can be trapped, and a lot of them, some won't go over because they love their house too much as well. It's not just suicides, but some won't go over because they love their properties or they love their families and they just can't move on, you know? And that's what that is, I think, as well. And Newtown is full of ghosts. Newtown is. They just want to go because it's such a lovely town. Or was a lovely town.
Yeah. It's ghost town now.
A ghost town now, yeah. Yeah. Right, what we do is, like I said, I do this because it used to cost me a lot of money to go on there. And Mid Wales people were only on basic pay. And we can't afford to pay £60 to go on a ghost hunt or whatever like that. But I love my history as well. I love big house. I love all these stately homes, all that sort of stuff. And it's an honour for me to go in these properties. You know, it's beautiful to go in these properties no one's ever been in before, you know. So the reason why I do it is because of the money situation. And I don't charge people because, like I say, why should I charge people when my spirits aren't being charged? I'm not paying them, am I? And I think if you, I'm going off on one again now, aren't I? If you charge money, you've got to find something for the people, haven't you? You know, you've got to find something. So I think you can lie a little bit. So I haven't got nothing to lose, have I? I'm just telling the truth. And and we do ghost hunting because you know, I'm just so interested in, like I lost my father a few years back. I'm just wondering, well, where is my dad? You know, where is he? And I know my dad's here, and so that's why I do what I do. And I'm always trying to find. It's like a cat, curious, you know. Once you have a little bite or something, you're like, so how did that do that? Why has that done that? So then you try to find more and then more and more. And hopefully one day I will catch on camera a spirit. And then the world will believe that there is a spirit. You know, they'll see it. And they'll see it moving and talking. And the way technology is coming on, the more equipment we use, we'll catch something on our cameras one day. And the thing you said about what do I want to do at the end of this is just carry on doing what I'm doing and opening up Mid Wales for everybody. I want these big houses to open up to everybody, for everybody to see. Even if they charge a little bit of money to the public, that's okay. But because they're looking after the houses, and these houses need to be looked after. But I want everybody to see what I see, you know. I want everybody to. I know other groups are doing this as well, but I want to take people around with me to believe, you know what I mean? So they can see things, and I can teach. Is it or whatever? I'd like to try to get people how to do this sort of stuff, you know. And you don't have to go to circles and spiritual churches to do. Like I said to you, just sit down quietly and calmly. Some people need to be taught things, how to do things, but others don't, you know. And so, like I said, I'd like to see Mid Wales and the whole of Wales open up all these big houses and to let people go around them and have a look. And also I like to help people as well. If a couple have got, or families have got something in their properties and they're scared, I'll go around and say, actually, what you're scared of, there's nothing to be scared here. It's just a member of your family. The reason why they're throwing books to you and stuff is because they're trying to tell you that they're here. Like say when I go to these houses and people have something, oh, we don't like this ghost here, and but then when you start talking to them about it and telling them so-and-so's here and there's a little boy here and he belongs to your family, and they say, oh yeah, we know that. And I said, there you are. So I said, you know, you're not going to don't worry about him or her. But then as soon as you tell them, like you've told them what they want to know, and then the spirits will cool down and everybody's happy, you know. That's what it's all about. But the reason why I do it mainly is because why should people pay all this money to go on the ghost hunt? Innit, you know? It's ridiculous prices, some of these things, and we're on basic pay in Mid Wales. Why should we have to pay £100 as well, you know, 60? You know? My really big aim in life one day is to have to do a house, a property, and to do it all the time, all the time, and to raise money for that house to be looked after, you know? Because there's so many houses. I'm going off my history side now. There's 3,000 houses in Wales, stately homes, little houses, and they're falling down into rack and ruin, but they're very ancient properties. And the Welsh people have made these properties, and it's part of our heritage. It's our minds building these beautiful houses, and they go into rack and ruin, and then there's nothing left, and so they need to be restored, don't they? So that's what I'd love to do. That's what I'd like to do is, that's why they should open them up to the public and start looking after their properties, and for the children of the future. And the ghosts will be there one day, the spirits will all be there as well. So we need to do that, don't we? The heritage of Wales and of Britain, isn't it? Really. Mm. So that's why I do it as well. Well, a lot of people say I don't believe in ghosts because I haven't seen one. I've never seen a UFO, so I don't believe in UFOs. If I see a UFO, I'll believe in a UFO, but I've never seen one. But I don't know if you read that little bit about Having Forest I put on the other night. And I found a little story, so I put it on Facebook and said a lot of people in Having Forest by Lanny has seen black triangles. And I had loads of people after commenting on saying my dad's seen it. And he went into the woods and the army chucked them off. And they found, pentagon shapes buildings in the woods years later done by the army. And in the evening, soldiers were coming out of helicopters, landing in the fields, in the woods in Having Forest. Why? Isn't it? So I don't really know, but my side is what I do. This side, isn't it? So I couldn't do that side really because I'm too busy doing this side. But if I seen a UFO, then I'd believe. But I don't believe in UFOs because I've never seen one. Oh yeah, my small. Well, this is a good thing. Well, I did my small hall with the County Times, and because I live just across from my small hall, I was the first one there, and I stood by the fireplace, and the owner came over. He said, "We got 20 Royal Welsh Fusiliers staying here tonight, Rory. Do you mind? They'll be a bit rowdy, but they'll be okay." I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And so when the owner went off, one of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers came over to speak to me, and he said. Is this place haunted? I said, yeah, it's very haunted. And he said, what's here? I said, well, at the top of the stairs, a man like Charles I comes down the stairs and stands by the fireplace. As soon as I said that, they got a great big fire door, and you have to push it to open it. The door opened in front of all of us, and this is 20 officers in the army, and they all seen it, and they said, oh my God, that door, did you just see that? I said, I just seen that. Did you? And we just couldn't believe it that the door opened when just in front of us. So two of the officers ran up the stairs to open it again. And as they went to open it, it opened for them. And they came running down. And I said, what you scared of? I said, ghosts can't hurt you. I said, where have you been? They said, we've been out in Afghanistan. I said, don't you think that's a bit more worrying than just a few ghosts? I said, you've just been fighting, out there. You got bullets after you. I said, don't worry about ghosts, they can't harm you. And they all started laughing. So in the evening, I went into this other room, and it's called the Winscott room. It's a panelled room. And I've been going to my small hall since I was a little boy. And I know it's haunted, and there's a female, I know it's odd, but this female likes me. She's attached herself to me somehow. She doesn't come home to the house, but when I'm in my small hall, I know she's there. And the County Times was taking lots of photographs, also cameras, big cameras, taking lots of footage, film footage and everything. Nothing on the cameras all night. And I said, I know you're here. Can you show yourself for me? Because I'm going home now, and I know you like me. And I took one photograph, and in the photograph, there's a hand coming around the panel of the door, and I got it on film, and. That's the best footage I've ever had, but everybody felt it in the room as well, and so that's the best I've had, but the most scariest was that plastic egg really. But I got the photograph of her in the County Times, and that went to scientists all around the world. Yeah, I know that I have, like I say, I sense them. That's all that. But I have seen them. Like
You have
say,
seen?
oh yeah, I was going another time on my bike again, going to work one morning by my small hall. As I was just going past my small hall, there was a light coming towards me, but this light was an orange glow, you know. And as I got closer, it was somebody on a push bike. I thinking to myself, that's stupid in the morning, that time in the morning, going to work. And I started laughing, thinking, well, I am, isn't it, on a push bike. I'm going to work on a push bike. Anyway, as I got closer, I started slowing down. But you know, like, when your ears start popping from being on a high altitude. It was like that. I was like in a bowl, you know. And as it started going past me, I started, my bike, or I felt like I was slowing down. And it was a man on a bike. And I looked at him, I went, all right. I say, all right to everybody. I went, all right. And there was only half a bike, but there was a shadow on the bike. And I looked around like that. It was gone. But I seen a man on a bike. There was a shadow. And I told somebody a few weeks later that I seen this man on the bike. And they said, did you know that somebody was killed on the main road on a push bike? And he was so mean, he wouldn't put lights in his bike. Not lights. He wouldn't put batteries in his light, and that's what the orange glow was. It was dimming, wasn't it? So that's what I seen. But when I was a little boy in Garthowen, two people were killed in the brook. And this one evening, it was going dusk. Me and my friends were playing at the bottom of Garthowen by the brook, by the water. And this it wasn't a little boy, he's a teenager, was standing on the bank on the other side. And there was no hedges, nothing. And he had real dark eyes, you know. I can see him now. He had dark black hair, like a greasy colour hair, and real dark eyes, but an olive skin. But he was wearing a white shirt and little shorts. And I went to my mates, let's squirt him, let's get him with our watering pistols. And we went bent down, we looked up, gone. But we all seen him, looked up all down the roads, gone. But another friend of mine, he was there one evening and he fell in the brook, just going dusk it was, and he tripped over in the brook and hurt his leg. And as he looked up, he seen the water rising in the brook. It was a summer and the water started rising and rising. And as he was trying to get out of the water, two shadows come out of the water and looked straight at him. And he had to go on medication until he was a teenager. After, he had to have medical help after. But he's seen the two shadows rising out of the water. But the water level started going higher and higher. But there was an old mill in Garthowen, old candlestick makers, and they reckon there's a weir down there, and that's where they were drowned. They drowned, and he's seen them. So that's scary for him. That's not scary for me. And that's why I do ghost hunting. Like I say, it's curiosity, isn't it? But everybody says curiosity kills a cat. Well, I got technological stuff. Also, I use the old ways as well. Mine is I use the old ways, and then the group uses the modern stuff, you know. So I use all the old equipment. So I got a pendulum, and that lets me know if I can't get a spirit guide. If my spirit guide doesn't help me as much as I want to, I'll use my pendant, and that'll be for yes, and that'll be for no for me. But sometimes I've had it maybe, and it won't move. It'll just shudder. But I did a house up at Powys, and I had to use this, and I got I had a female's name, and her name was Jane Evans, and I picked through this, and they got back to me a month later saying there was in the 1600s a lady called Jane Evans, and she died in that room where I said, and I picked that through this by just saying yes and no's, giving names out, you know. That's how you do it. It's your name so and so, and then it'll start moving around. So that's that. Okay. Also, I use old things. This is my granddad's watch, and I'll take that because it's old, and I just like to hold it. Hopefully, his spirit will be with me as well, and it's just nice to show people as well. Really, that one. And then I got my crystals. My lavender crystals is to protect me. You can see them. But also I got my other crystal, and that'll guide spirits towards me. It's like a beacon, you know. They'll bring them towards me. And then little black one is to ground me. I need that to ground me if I get a bit too overconfident. So that keeps me grounded, you know what I mean? Keeps me grounded. And then on the table, I have a family Bible. I don't use it as a Bible. Some properties I go to, it's just, you can just feel it that you need to keep a Bible with you. So I take my family Bible, and that keeps my spirits with me, all my family spirits with me. So that's that. I use a candle holder, because you can have a candle lit, and you can ask out, can you blow the candle out? And now and again the candle gets blown out. So that's that. Digital cameras, because digital cameras can catch orbs and other spirits in the cameras. Like I said to you before about the speeds and everything, I always find if you've got a digital camera with, like, say 10 or 15 or 20 pixel, if you knock it down to the lowest pixel, it's the fastest shutter speed. So that's when you catch them. Do you know? If you have a very, very expensive, I know there are times they have these very, very expensive cameras and they're like 10,000 pixels or something. Not a thing. If you drop it down to nothing, the shutter speed will be faster, so then you'll catch the spirit in the shutter speed. I think that's right, I think. Then I have walkie-talkies, just in case, because we do these big houses, we can't communicate shouting and, down corridors and stuff, so we have walkie-talkies to tell us where we are, And when they do go off, sometimes they make me jump like mad because I don't know I got it on. So that's that. And then we use digital cameras, video cameras, with night view to, because we have all lights off, so we use night view cameras. These aren't very good. My mate Ian's got great cameras. He's got the infrared lights on top of the cameras as well, And then also I use a dictaphone or microphone, and I leave that on to hear anything in the rooms, or for myself to remember what I've said when I get home if I want to write it down, as well. And then, what else have we got? Right, they are, can you see them? They are laser beams. I put them at the bottom of the stairs or in a room and have them across each other, and then they could, they might go off now and again, and then someone spoke the laser beam, the alarm will go off. And then one of my favourites, I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, but it's a singing bowl. And the Dalai Lama and other people use it. And I was telling you about radio waves. Well, if you bang on this, it goes around and makes a noise for ages and ages. It breaks up the radio wave, the noises, and it'll go around the room and it'll bring the spirits closer, because the whole house will hear it. So it'll bring the spirits in from all over the house. So that's that. I use that. But this is my baby. I've never used this before. This is from America, and it's called a Frank's box, or people know it as a ghost box. And have you ever seen the film White Noise? Well, white noise is what this is. It's transmitting white noise into the ether, into the room. And because I'm a medium, I know what's in the room, but no one else does. So this will give out white noise into the room, and I'll ask out, my name is Rory, what's your name? Could you give me your name, please? And if there's anything in the room, it'll come back through the speakers. They little speakers with it as well, see? And the little speaker, if there's anybody in the room, it'll come back with a name. And I've never used this before. I'm going to use it tomorrow night. And you have to ask out twice. So say if I say, my name's Rory, what's your name? Say something comes back, John. I say, could you give me that name again, please? And if it comes back twice, John, you've got a spirit in the room. And so I'm really looking forward to using that. I'm one of the only teams in Britain to have one. So that's really good. So that's all my equipment, really. We do use EMF meters as well, and heat sensors and stuff like that for different areas. Because when we did the Montgomery Town Hall, we had the heat went straight down in some parts of the room, and so that we caught, we knew there was something going on there then as well. So, and I got these as well. A torch, you've got to have a torch when you do an investigation. And these, most haunted, when they do locations, they use a big boom, don't they? You know, on with cameras, like you got on the end of your camera. These go into your ear, and they're deaf aids. So after I've asked out, we'll just listen, and we'll have the tappings on the table or on the floor, and we can pick them up with these, and that's what they are. And that's it really on that side of things. Right, this is a little story, and this phone means a lot to me because I lost my father 2.5 years ago, and I know a lot of people lose their dads and everything. So this story is about our dads and mothers and family. 2 years ago, I lost my father, and my dad was very, very close to me. If I get a bit upset, it's not because I just get upset. Anyway, I lost my father, and he meant a lot to me, my dad. And this one night I had this dream. Now this is a dream. I got a modern phone over there, but it looks like an old phone. But this is 1929, and this phone is exactly the same age as my dad. And went to bed in my dream, fast asleep. And the phone started ringing. So I'm thinking, who's on the phone this time of night, So I go downstairs in my dream, go to the modern phone, it's not ringing. But this phone, 1929 phone, is ringing. So I pick it up and I go, hello, who's there? And this posh lady goes, hello, this is Waverley, and it's Waverley, whatever. I said, this is Waverley, da-di-da-da. Your dad's on the end of the phone. I said, my dad can't be on the end of the phone. My dad's dead. My dad died a few months ago. I said, no, your dad wants to speak to you. And I said, okay, can you put me through to my dad then, please? He goes, certainly. So she gives me the phone, and on the other end is my dad. And he goes, hello, son. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Everybody's fine and happy. Look after your children and your wife. Everybody will be fine. And he's just about to say something else. And my uncle, who passed away 3 months before my dad, I could hear him on the other end. But he went, Vinny, and he went, blah, 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 blah. And he couldn't say the words. And my dad said, God bless, son. Look after yourself. Everybody will be fine. Put the phone down. I go back to bed, still in my dream. Next thing, I thought, was that my dad? So I sat on the end of the bed, and I went back downstairs in my dream, picked up the phone, rang Waverley, daddy. Someone said, hello, this is Waverley. And I said, could you put me through to my dad, please? And she goes, certainly. I said, can you? And she goes, yeah, I can. So my dad comes to the end of the phone. He said, what's the matter, son? I said, Dad, are you dead? And he goes, I'll always be with you, son. God bless. Don't worry about me. God bless. Put the phone down. I woke up in tears. But isn't that lovely to know that my dad, my dad believed in ghosts, but my mum and dad used to say, we won't come back because we might scare you. So he came back through a dream, you know what I mean? Isn't that nice, isn't it? So that's my phone. I love that phone. So that's why I told him he's going to be with me. So that's that. They are around us forever. They will be, But you gotta. We still running, aren't we? You gotta let them go though. You can't grieve for so long. You know what I mean? Because if you grieve for so long, they can't pass over. They want to be with their family on the other side, and one day they'll always come back for us. But you can't grieve forever. You gotta let them go, and then they'll go. And one day I'll meet my dad again. I know I will. Ghosts can't, but spirits can. Like I say, ghosts are different. Ghosts go around what they want to do, but you can have a spirit who's physical as well, and they can see you and they can reenact with you. You can ask them questions and all that. So that's that really. So they can reenact with you, yeah. Say if you're in a room now. Say if you're cooking in the kitchen and you're doing your tea, and a ghost walks past you, they're just doing what they do. They're just doing their reenacting their past. They say if there might have been a staircase where your cooker was, so they're just going about their business. So they don't know you're there. But a spirit will say you're cooking, they'll move the pan for you. You know what I mean? So that's what they are. So I think, yeah, ghosts are in the 1600s. Spirits are with us always, you know, doing things. That's very good because Wales is also haunted by Romans. I don't know if you can see my helmet over there, but I got a Roman helmet. And Caersus is a Roman village, and it's called Caeres, Caer for fort, and it's the war god Zeus. And this house, under this house, is a Celtic roundhouse, under my house. And I've done my small hall, and I know a story of a very rich man in Newtown. He lived in my small hall when his house was being built in Newtown, and this one night he heard marching going across the gravel, and these Roman soldiers went underneath the building, but they were going underneath the gravel, and the reason why is because the building was a different level. You know, over time the banks have come up higher and higher, so you're seeing soldiers from only there, and they're marching on their level. You know what I mean? So that's what you get that from. I know a house in Shrewsbury, and they had a woman only halfway up, going across the floor, but they could only see her there. And when they renovated, they took the floorboards up. When they renovated, they found a spiral staircase. So she was going down the spiral staircase. So that's just like their levels they were on. That's what that is. It doesn't have to be an evil presence. It can be ghosts can show themselves in different forms. But you can have, everybody thinks a ghost is cold, but you can also have a ghost that's a spirit that's hot, you know. So it doesn't matter about being, it doesn't have to be evil to be cold, you know what I mean. You can either have, you can always, you mainly get a temperature drop in, you know, like I said about the town hall in Montgomery. We had a real dramatic drop, and you knew there was, and we had things happening straight away then. But it doesn't mean it's evil. Like I say, hot spirit. You know, we get heat as well. So it doesn't mean it's evil. It's just that's what it is. So there's no harm at all in it. But we've had mists as well, ghosts, shapes of people. But it's not evil. Well, if they're from the same timeline, they can see each other, or from the same family. But if they're from different timelines, no, they go about their own business. They don't even know they're there. You know, so they'll you know they can walk, they can go into each other, but they don't know each other's there. But like I say, spirits are different again. They can see each other, and sometimes they can get scared of each other. You know, you could have a little girl. I've done the property, and you can have a little girl who's scared of the man. Well, it does someone recently, and the girl, a little boy. Actually, it was a little boy, and he was scared of his father, who was in spirit, and the little boy would hide from his father because he knew he was there. He seen him. But ghosts don't. They just go around their own, doing their own business. Have you ever seen what's the film? The Others. Like we could be like, because like I said before, I think they're in the same sort of atmosphere. Like the next level, it's here. You know what I mean? So it's not in, it's not in space or anyway. It's on Earth, but we don't. So I don't know if they know. Do you know what I mean? We could be scared of them. They could be scared of us. You know. Yeah. Yeah. You can. A good spirit will stay away from a bad spirit, or like a negative. Or if you're in a property, like my spirit guides, if I go into a property and there's a negative spirit in the property, my guides will protect me. I got another guide, and they'll fold their hands, and that means that they won't let no one go past me. And it's the same with a property. Um, a good spirit and a bad spirit, hopefully they equal each other out, so it gives the house a nice level. Do you know what I mean? So it keeps the place tidy. That's what I think anyway. No, you can have anniversary ghosts, yeah. Like say if they died on a certain date, they can appear on that date. But other ghosts like Roman legions and human ghosts, they can be seen whenever, you know. But we find that winter is the most popular time for ghosts for some reason. I think because they like the dark, you know. They say it's ghosts don't have to be seen in the dark; they can be seen in light. But they prefer the dark for some reason. No, it doesn't matter where. You can have, you know, a spirit can go wherever. You know, in the ocean or anywhere, they can have spirits. You know, I've heard the stories of divers under the sea being pulled back by the legs or something to, you know, to stay. But it doesn't mean that they want to hurt them. They just want people to stay with them for a bit longer. You know what I mean? But yeah, ships can be haunted. You know, under the sea. You know, wrecks and stuff. Yeah. You know, there's a famous photograph, I think I put it on my Facebook about it, and it showed two sailors, just their faces. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's got a spirit guide, but you gotta do a bit of meditation, like get a DVD on meditation, but get a spiritualism DVD. I've got one. I use one. I'll show you that when we do a bit. I'll go get it so you can put it in front of the camera so everybody can see it, so they can get it. You know what I mean? But it's because it's so good. But you gotta let yourself just go and just calm and what you want to do is after a while ask out. Have I got a spirit guide with me? Is there anyone with me? Mine's just saying no. She's just making me all shivers. I'm still with you. I'm not good. So you got to let your emotions and you know if you do become if you want to carry on doing stuff like this, sometimes you get really upset as well. You cry over nothing. It's just because the emotions of your guides or the spirit in the room. You know what I mean? But everybody's got a spirit guide, you know, and an angel. I reckon it, but I don't. Like I said to you before, I don't believe in angels being with wings. They haven't got wings. That was Leonardo da Vinci putting wings on for the Catholic churches and stuff. You know what I mean? An angel is just pure light, beautiful light, and you can have all different colours. But I've seen one blue, but mine is pure white. You know, so everybody's got guides, and you'll feel them as well. You can feel them. So that's it really about that.
That's a beautiful thing to
Do you
end
think?
on.
Do you think? Oh, that's good then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like that. And it does. I'll go into a house. It just makes me. I'll just cry. And I say to people, I'm not being. I've been in Morrison's. I've been crying in front of people because they've had a guide with them, or not a guide, an angel. And I'll just get upset. I say, your angel is so beautiful. You've got such a beautiful angel with you, and they're looking after you, innit? You know, it's nice, innit? So do you want me to get this DVD to show you?
Yeah.
I'll go get it now.